Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Canadian Football Central CFL content for the fans, by the fans. And we got another video coming out. However, this time, the Montreal Alouettes with a good signing here, as Jose Maltos Diaz has inked a 2-year deal with the Montreal Alouettes. He's going to be sticking around in Montreal for another 2 years. Went to school in Nueva Leon and born in Monterrey, Mexico. He's one of the few global players in the CFL. He had done very, very well this past year with the Alouettes, which brought them all the way to the Grey Cup game, where, of course, they were defeated by the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Maltos Diaz, though, did his part. He goes 89% this season. 58 field goals that he had made on 65 attempts, with his longest being a 58-yard field goal. He was 9 for 9 for field goals under 20 yards, 29 for 33 for field goals between 20 and 39 yards. And he was 13 for 15 on field goals between 40 and 49 yards. And he was 7 for 8 on 50-plus yard kicks. So one of the best at those deeper kicks. And in regards to PATs, he only missed one, went 28 for 29. So all in all, really good move here for the Alouettes. And he got 2 rouges, he got 2 singles, which of course that will most likely no longer be the case with the rule changes coming into effect. That will no longer be kind of a relevant stat for kickers there, as it's pretty much when you miss a kick that you're going to get those predominantly. How do you feel about this? Like, if you're the Alouettes, I imagine you're happy about this signing. What do you think?
Well, I mean, it's good to see that they both have him and Zima back,
Yep.
Kicker and punter.
It's good having that kind of chemistry, just having that kind of brothership, that camaraderie. I think that very much helps with the morale, because as a kicker and punter, you're kind of the two isolated players kind of in the same boat.
And I'm pretty sure he was in the top 3, if I'm not mistaken.
In what stat specifically?
No, just like
percentage?
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, he was. He was tied for 3rd, because Sean White was 95% in 1st. Mark Leggio was 2nd in 93%. And then in number 3, it was a tie between Lyram Haralahu and Maltos Diaz with a 89% field goals in those regards. Now, the interesting thing here is I think you can actually make a fair case here that Maltos Diaz might be he might be the best kicker he may have been the best kicker, and I'll tell you why. So firstly, Sean White, very good kicker, makes one attempt though for a 50 plus yard kick, and he misses it. He was 0 for 1 there. Whereas Maltos Diaz had that really, really well-refined mix of an 89%, so a very high percentage in the top 3. But then he also was able to go for that deep ball kick, and he was so consistent on those earlier kicks. Again, 9 for 9, didn't miss a single one under 20. And again, with the PATs, he only missed 1. You know, I love Sergio Castillo. I'm a big fan of Sergio Castillo. In terms of being specifically a deep ball kicker, I think he is the best, despite the fact he went 6 for 11. I think even with a little bit of an off year, again, 6 for 11, that's 6 for 11 whilst breaking a CFL, tying a CFL record, breaking a franchise record. But again, Maltos Diaz, he's got a little bit of that experience there as well. As from, of course, Monterrey, Mexico. He suited up for 18 regular season games, both playoff games and the Grey Cup this season. This is from the 3 Down Nation staff article. He broke the single season franchise field goal record, which was previously held by David Duval, by putting 58 kicks through the uprights while leading the CFL in points, 210, and finishing 3rd in field goal percentage, 89.2%, which was only down a little bit over his numbers last year, where last year he was up an extra 2.5% at 91.7. So all in all, very, very good year. 206 points generated here just from Jose Maltos Diaz. So I think we got to give credit where credit's due there. What do you? I guess end of the day, how do you feel about it? Do you feel good? Like if you're the Alouettes, I imagine if you're the Alouettes, this is the guy that you want. This is exactly the guy that you want kicking it through the uprights. I think this is a guy that someone like Saskatchewan, like now Saskatchewan, they won the Grey Cup with Breath of Author. I'll give credit where credit's due. They did. But long term, having a guy, and it's not that Maltos Diaz is not a young kicker. He's 34 years old. But it's one of those things where I haven't seen any kind of regression from him in the ways that I have from a guy like Lothar. So
I mean, the next 2 years are going to be the big years.
Yes, agreed.
Because once 2027 comes and goes, you will really get like what we see in 2025 and 2026. Whereas a team like Winnipeg may take a chance on going for that field goal. Come 2027, when they move those goalposts back, you may have that what you would have been like a 20 to 39 yard field goal, maybe longer. So it's like, hey, do we really take the chance now, or
one thing I will say, that's where I believe teams like Winnipeg, teams like Montreal, again, because Castillo, Maltos Diaz, some proven deep ball kickers, they may still go for some of those field goals where other teams like the BC Lions are opting to go for those shorter kicks. So I'd be curious to see. I can't make that prediction. I don't know. But I think that's an interesting discussion. And again, if there is going to be teams that are going to go for those kicks despite them being maybe a little bit longer now, my guess would be that Winnipeg and Montreal, both in that category, with some very, very dependable kickers. And the Alouettes, fortunate for them, they got them locked up for another 2 years. And we don't know any contract information that was not released publicly. But again, as we mentioned in some of our other videos, they are going to be reviewing that type of information this winter. And so there might be the possibility of all this becoming public, in which case we may have to do some salary breakdowns of each team if they decide to release all that information. So all in all, though, I think this is a fantastic signing for the Alouettes and exactly a guy that you want to keep around in your system. So, good job. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. Make sure you guys leave a like on the video, share it around, and subscribe if you haven't already. And also, make sure you guys join the Discord. Link in the description below to our Discord to make sure of NHL, CFL content, all that sort of stuff going on there. So make sure you guys join the Discord and keep the conversation going there. I'm active in there all the time, so if you ever have any questions for me, anything like that, feel free to ask me there. So peace, love, and positivity, all you wonderful people at home. We will see you guys next time.